What's good, guys? Episode number 27 today. We are now live on Spotify too, so the link for that will be in the description. But if you just look it up, Be Better Podcast, Bryce Weaver, Spotify. We got last week's episode out there. We're trying to get on Apple Podcasts too. Haven't been able to get up on there yet, but yeah, check us out on Spotify. Follow us on there, and then hit that like button and subscribe.
Yes, sir.
So we're gonna let it rip today. So we're gonna react to some of these hate comments. Thought they were kind of funny.
I can't believe we're getting hate comments already. That's hilarious.
Dude, yeah, it's like, well, who has the time to comment on our podcast? Okay, some of these aren't that bad. Why does everyone feel the need to do a podcast now? I don't know, brother. I don't know.
It's fun.
Yeah, it's fun. It's a good time.
That shit's sick.
Yeah. Okay, two cornballs making a podcast. What's new?
Nothing,
I would take a
apparently.
guess. You don't have the balls to make one yourself, so that's why you're commenting. Need to invest in better audio equipment and learn how to use what you got. I know.
I totally agree.
I think we're getting better. Each podcast is getting better. But nobody gives a shit. Yeah, probably not.
Yeah.
Probably
facts.
not. That's the cool thing about doing it. Like,
Yeah, no one gives a shit.
yeah, and well, okay, nobody gives a shit. And also everybody who ever has came up to me and talked to me about the podcast only has good things to say.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sure there is negative talk. I wouldn't be surprised, but at the same time, it's like nobody's ever came face to face and said anything bad.
Yeah, I doubt they will too.
Yeah.
Honestly.
And it's crazy the amount of people that seen this shit.
Yeah.
Everybody, bro.
Everyone that I talk to is like, "Oh yeah, I've seen one of your episodes of the podcast, or I've watched
Yeah.
your podcast." And I was like, "Oh
I'm
man."
like,
that's
what, did you
awesome."
hit the subscribe button? But that's like, it says, why does everybody feel the need to do a podcast now? It's like, I don't know anyone else doing one. Like, personally, obviously
Yeah.
on YouTube.
Well,
but-
everyone's doing it that has like a voice, or is somebody does one, but
yeah.
I mean, it's not like a local thing everyone does, but
Yeah,
what
we're
does
just,
it matter?
nobody's doing one. And then this one was about when we went off on judo the one time. Greco-Roman and judo are similar. These guys don't know what they're talking about. Come wrestle me then. We'll find out. Honestly.
Yeah, facts.
Let's see what we know we're talking about. All right, but we'll talk a little bit about the fights that happened. Wow. Ilya Taporia,
That was awesome.
he is that guy.
That was crazy.
He is that guy.
It was sad to see, but made sense. That was nuts.
Crazy. Bro, I think when McGregor won the 45-pound strap, he's 27, Ilya Taporia was 27. They both had a 14-0 record, and they both had the exact same amount of wins in the UFC.
That's crazy.
Insane.
It
And
seemed
then-
like it was meant to be.
It just seemed like it was bound to happen.
I had a terrible feeling just with Volk getting knocked out. What was that, like a couple months ago?
Uh-huh.
Cleaned. I was like, oh.
And then it's like Ilya Taporia showed up with that confidence that we saw like McGregor have. Ian Gary kind of has that essence. Like Sean O'Malley talks about it. Like that just makes me think about like the mindset going into these things. Like you could just tell his mindset was bulletproof.
Yeah,
And
100%.
it's like, is it a good thing to be way overconfident? Like it might be.
Well, I think the only way you can achieve great things is if you genuinely believe it.
Uh-huh.
And genuinely believing you, like, if you really think about it, genuinely believing you can do great things is always like egotistical, or it's always like frowned upon, and it's like, oh, like you're way overseeing yourself. But the only way you can get there is if you think you can do it, So I think it is really beneficial for any goal in life. If you really think you can do it, no matter how
Yeah.
ambitious it is, you're gonna be able to get much further if you believe you can do it.
Yeah, I would agree. We'll stay on the UFC topic, but I got something else I want to bring up later on that same thing. Like that deep belief that you can, that deep belief that you can accomplish something really big. Like not a lot of people have it. Everybody's talking about negative shit.
Yeah.
This is going on, that's going on. Oh, he's cocky. He thinks he's going to do this. And then it's like, well, one, you either go out and do it, or two, you went out and gave it your all trying to do it.
Yeah.
And it's like you got somewhere good in the meanwhile.
Yeah, or you just got better. Even if you didn't achieve your goal, you still got better.
Yeah.
So,
And there's
going.
a difference between saying that. So say some guy on the streets like Sean Strickland, yo, like I could walk in the gym and take you right now.
yeah.
That's a false sense of confidence. And then
Yeah.
Ilya Taporia or Sean Strickland, both them guys confident, training every single day as hard as they can. Then that's where that confidence comes from too.
Yeah, I think you have to be a psychopath to like fully believe you're able to do something without the work that needs to be done.
Yeah, that's
You
psychopath
know?
activities.
Yeah, that's crazy. But
Yeah.
like I think people that have like a really high sense of confidence also put in enough work to where it makes sense for
Hmm.
them. Because like a lot of people don't see behind the scenes. They don't understand what they're doing. They don't understand the type of work they put in. So, like for them to be very self confident in what they're doing, it usually is backed by a ton of hard work.
Yeah, 100%. And then, so the co-main Paulo Costa, Robert Whitaker. That
Banger.
was that was a sick fight. Robert Whitaker, he's a stud. Like, but what do you do with him? Do you give him another title shot? Like, he's in a weird spot right now.
Costa or Whitaker?
Whitaker,
Yeah. Uh,
he's in a weird spot. I
I
think,
it's definitely possible. I don't see why he wouldn't.
yeah. I mean, give him DDP. Like, uh, but yeah. Back to Volk. Volk, obviously, I in with his accolades of what he did at 145. I think Dana's gonna give him the rematch because I mean it just seems like Dana's that guy. He's loyal to all his people. Do I want to see it? No. I want to see Sean O'Malley, Ilya Taporia, but
I think that might happen.
yeah, give
If
Volk.
Ilya says yes to it, I don't see maybe Volk afterwards.
Yeah,
It takes it back, but that would just be such a big money fight. I don't see why you wouldn't do that.
yeah. I guess.
And plus,
Yeah.
Volk's like like obviously he's never lost in that in what is that featherweight?
Mm-hmm.
He's
Mm-hmm.
never lost in the featherweight, but he's just off two fresh losses from Islam.
Yeah.
One head kick that might have changed his career. We
And
don't
then
know
this
yet.
KO, like he's talking about, I want to come back. It's like, dude, I would take a little break,
Yeah.
but at that age, it's crazy.
Yeah, because like some of those head kicks, people just don't work. They just never are the same. And
Yeah.
then it's like, okay, like to see Volk get flatlined like that twice, I don't know. Something just seems weird about that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
sad, but I don't know, man. I have a bad feeling.
Yeah. I do too. So I guess we'll see what happens. And then Ian Gary, Jeff Neal. That was a snooze fest, but Ian Gary did what he had to do to get it done.
Yeah.
Um, I want to see him Colby. I think that would be super sick.
Oh yeah.
That would be a good
The
fight.
trash talk is gonna be insane.
Insane. But
I'm
it's
so
like
excited.
people are. I feel like the community's almost getting over Colby Covington.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm gonna be honest. Like at first I was like, okay, I understand what he's doing, and now I'm just like, dude, shut up. Like you're not genuine. You're not a real person. Like
Yeah. Well, it's also like I don't know if you're gonna play any sort of character, especially one that like gets the people riled up like he does. Like you just have to be good.
hmm
Like the only reason Conor McGregor got so big is not only did he have a mouthpiece on him, but he backed it up and it was really exciting.
yeah, 100%.
About that, where are we at?
We're back. Colby Covington being a piece of shit, give or take.
Yeah, I kind of it's like I like him because like if you watch him like off camera like he seems like a pretty good dude,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I don't know. Playing characters nowadays, I just feel like you're either interesting or not, and you don't really have to play a character nowadays. Like people actually, I feel like are leaning more towards just authenticity.
hmm
You know.
it's like a weird situation though because everybody turns it up when the camera comes out,
Mhm.
but like Sean Strickland, he just brings out more of who he actually is.
Yeah.
Um, Conor McGregor brings out more of who he actually is. Colby Covington isn't actually this guy. You can tell. And then you hear the things like he's the nicest guy off camera, which is super cool. Like, it doesn't bother me, but it's like, dude, it's just weird. It's not genuine. It's just odd.
Yeah, I think everyone's just leaning more towards authenticity though. Like even think
hmm
about like Pereira, he hardly speaks English,
Yeah.
but people love him. Just because he's good at what he does. Like I don't think you have to be some crazy. Obviously, it helps if you're like some crazy superstar and you're able to build up crazy fights. But if you're someone like him, like he barely speaks English, he doesn't really talk on camera. He's literally a meme for being a stone face, and people love him.
He just wins.
Yeah.
It's like
That's all that
Corey
matters.
Sandhagen. He did an interview with Arrow Hawani.
Mhm.
He was like, I think I need to get some face tattoos and hang out with rappers now. And so Sean O'Malley, like, it was on Twitter. He tweeted. He said, "Or you could have beat Peter Yan and KO'd Aljo." And it
Yeah.
was like,
Probably be 10 times bigger of a star.
yeah, 100%. That would have made him a much bigger star. But back to Alex Pierre. Alex Pierre, Jamal Hill headlining UFC 300. That's sick. I love Jamal Hill. I met him. Super cool guy. He definitely deserves this fight.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna disagree on the outcomes of this fight, but
Yeah, I think he's in starched.
I
But
think Jamal Hill's that good. I think he's a freak. He was a
might be.
basketball player, bro. Hopped in the UFC, became a world champ. Like that's not normal.
Yeah, I know. I totally agree. He's a hell of an athlete and he's a hell of a fighter for sure. But I don't know. He's on a murder spree.
Pierre's different.
He just kills people. Like he just touches them and they just die. Like it's hard to really say.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And then on the little bit different type of MMA talk, but on the MMA news, Nina, bro, she's been changing the freaking game. Or probably making MMA huge again. Like
Yeah, yeah, I agree.
her
She's
interviews
awesome.
are crazy. The
Yeah,
Tom Aspinall interview, bro, like
yeah. He's
she's so good at it too. Like,
yeah,
and then like hanging out with the fighters, like her and Strickland's podcasts are just awesome. Like the questions are just awesome.
yeah. She has a good personality. She's just bubbly and happy, and it's almost like a weird contrast because like the sport's like
Yeah.
blood sport. It's like
Yeah.
crazy. It's like you have the most intense personality and egos, and then you have Nina's bubbly ass, and it's
Yeah,
just entertaining.
It's so funny because she just lets it rip too. Like she says some crazy things, and it's like that's why I love UFC so much. Like Dana doesn't care. They're talking about oiling up Dana. Like what? Where did that come
That
from,
is a
bro?
crazy concept.
Yeah, I don't know how that came about, but all right. Well, that's the UFC talk for today. So, all right. Well, first off, Tom Brady, I'm really mad at you. Like, multi-millionaire decides to do a Dunkin' Donuts commercial. Come on, we talk about health on here. Like, we were talking about it last
I
week.
didn't
Like,
see that.
yeah, he did a Dunkin' on the Super Bowl.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's like, bro, what are you doing? How many more millions do you need? Like,
What did he do in the commercial? Did you
I
watch
don't
it at
know.
all?
I didn't really see all of it. I heard about it. I guess he was in it. That's enough for me to be mad. It's like, bro, you promote health all the time. Talk
Yeah.
about how you stayed in the NFL this long. Like, how much money did they offer you? I guarantee he makes 80 mil a year, give or take, or more.
Yeah, I have no
It's like,
clue.
bro,
Yeah, at that point, it does seem kind of redundant. You don't need to make it.
yeah,
Oh,
super
well.
crazy.
What does it matter?
But I want to talk about faith a little bit. So the George
Okay.
Janko has got me started on that.
Yeah.
The way he breaks it down, I think it's because he's not just an old pastor talking about it. Like I can
Yeah.
actually relate to what he's saying and the concepts. Like, oh, what was it like? So he was talking to Tate about. I guess this isn't really faith, but this is a good topic. He was talking about people just always talking about negative shit, like we were saying earlier, and it's like, why? And I was thinking about it, and it's like, when do we ever talk about our problems or issues or negative things going on? It's like very rare.
Yeah.
You know what or just more or less complaining about
Yeah.
shit.
We don't ever complain.
Like not in our everyday talks.
Yeah, I don't complain. Neither one of us complain about anything.
Yeah, and some people just, oh, this happened because of this, and then the world's out to get me because of this. It's like, no,
Yeah.
it's not. It's like,
I feel like in their own way, though, they like manifest it into reality. They're like, oh, the world's out to get me.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
I talk is about problems, and now my life's full of problems. I also think like it's kind of like the example of the yellow car thing, where it's like, how many yellow cars did you drive past today? Well, you don't know because you didn't look for it. But the second you're looking for yellow cars, you'll find a ton of yellow cars, and you didn't even realize you're passing. I think that goes along with life though, because the more you're focusing on your problems, the more you're gonna find them. The more you're looking at, and the same goes for the opposite. The more you're looking at the good, the positives, the more you're gonna find in your life, and you're gonna ignore the negative. So
facts.
I
Facts.
think that makes
Yeah, the
sense.
car thing is a good way to put it. That was good. But yeah, man, just don't like every day you wake up, you're gonna have 100 problems that day.
Mhm.
Just let it go. Look at the good. Like you woke up, you got 2 arms, 2 legs, and a thinking mind. You're already you're good. You can get like, there's people out there there's parents out there who found out their kid has cancer. Like it's dark, but it's true. Like you're not in that bad of a situation. Like put things into perspective.
Yeah.
Like people are born with mental disabilities where they literally like they're already born on a lower grade than you are. So you have a much higher chance of being successful. Like, put things in perspective, man. Life's good. Life's been real good recently, honestly.
Yeah, I'm very happy with how life's been going. At least for us.
Oh yeah.
Ton of great opportunities.
Some big news coming soon.
Yeah, fingers crossed everything goes well.
Big close this week.
Yeah,
Big
man.
sell.
It's a
Big sell this week.
huge sell. Fingers crossed. It seems like an amazing opportunity. At least, obviously, this is going into our lives that we're not really going to disclose quite yet.
Yeah, not yet.
Um, but yeah, you're right. Things have been great, and honestly, it just keeps getting better. And I'm so grateful. And if you want to talk about faith, like I'm grateful to God that I'm put in the situation and the scenario that I'm put in because I feel like I've had to go through a ton of trials and tribulations to get to this point, and I'm almost grateful for him because I wouldn't be able to handle the opportunities or even realize the opportunities we have if I wasn't put through the fire. So I'm just so grateful. I think I totally am grateful to God for what we have.
100%.
It's awesome.
100%. Like, ain't it crazy how, like, just through wrestling and just life, like, every low comes with the high, and every high comes with the low. Like, if
Yeah.
you can prepare yourself for that and switch your mindset to, all right, today was a horrible day, but I still got up, I still did what I was supposed to do, like, a good day is going to come. Then you start stacking them together, and then next thing you know, you got a good week.
Yeah.
And you may have 2 bad days, but you're already set up to where it's like, oh, well, I've been here before, I know what to do, I know how to fix this, you know?
Well, it's also like I feel like there's this lie that people are told that like every day is just supposed to be happy.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't like if that was the case, then why do we have bad emotions?
Yeah.
Like why do we feel sad? Why do we feel it? Because it's just natural in life. Like it's just a normal biological function.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're not just supposed to be happy, or else that's all we would have is receptors, is just happy receptors. So like I think it's just ebbs and flows in life. Like things go wrong, things happen, things go good.
Mm-hmm.
You can't like stress about it.
Yeah.
Like I don't understand why people are so stressed out like about life. Like
Mm-hmm.
there's ebbs and flows.
Yeah.
Things are good, things are bad, and it's fine. Take it easy.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that
And
serious.
like I feel like everybody's in the pursuit of like getting to happiness.
Yeah.
And it's like, so how I kind of been thinking about it recently is it's like, what do I want to wake up tomorrow? What will I be able to do all day that I enjoy and it's what I want to be doing? Like today, like ever asked me what I was doing today, I was like, well, I'm going to go lift weights in the morning. I'm going to work. I'm going to come home. I'm going to do a podcast. I'm going to go work in the afternoon. And I was like, it's a good day. If I could do jujitsu, that would be a great day. So it's like, okay, what do I have to do so I can do that every day while being sustainable? You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, I'll be able to go to the gym, be able to do podcasts, do this type of thing, go do jujitsu. Like, that's a good day, you know?
Yeah. Funny part is like a lot of people hear that and like you're working out too and doing jujitsu too. It sounds miserable.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe go fishing a day or two in there. That'd be like a perfect day.
Oh yeah. Speaking of which, April 6th or 8th,
April 6th.
trout season opens. We should go out. And
I'm
fish.
down. Trout just doesn't do it for me, bro.
It doesn't do it for me either, but it's opening day. Might as well.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Assuming the weather's not horrendous.
Yeah, for sure. I'm so excited. If you're listening to this and you live in PA, I hope y'all are praying for warm weather. I hate this cold weather. It sucks.
I'm excited for it to get warm again.
See, that's where I think happiness will come from. When I wake up and it's 70 degrees out, that'll
Oh
make
my
me
goodness.
happy.
Yeah.
So this is a study or like a quote about there's people being able to sit with their thoughts. And it says, at some point today, you will be disengaged from the rest of the world and just think. It could happen in any number of ways if your mind wanders from work while you're sitting in traffic or if you just take a quiet moment to reflect. But as frequently as we drift into our own thoughts, a new study suggests that many of us don't like it. In fact, some people even prefer an electric shock to being left alone in their mind. And that's just crazy. Like,
That's true though.
it's so true. Why are people just sitting there scrolling? They don't want to think for a second.
Yeah.
And it's like, that's the coolest part about breath work. Like, I try to just silence it, like shut it off, not really think about anything when I'm doing that.
Mhm.
Like, you got to accept your own thoughts or like realize that, okay, I got to fix this, I got to do that.
Yeah, it's that is. I mean, that's I never heard that, but that's pretty neat. People definitely are afraid of their own thoughts. Like that's
Hmm.
so true. People don't want to like. I don't understand it really, because like, what is it that you don't want to do? You don't want to self reflect, or are
I
you
guess,
afraid of your problems?
hmm
Um, I don't know.
I guess that's what it is. They
People
just
just
stuff it
numb
down.
themselves.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah.
Huh?
It's a weird concept to where I love like reflecting, like thinking about things. Like the mind's a powerful tool,
Yeah.
and you gotta bulletproof your own mind. And it's weird how you can program the mind to think of some things like in good ways, bad ways, like, and how
Yeah.
you can change it. Like the other day, I don't know whose podcast I was. It was Clash of Combat. They had, or no, it was Bo Nichols' podcast. They
Yeah.
had the guy, the wrestler Johnny something, who does them free falls. I don't know if you know him, but super
Mm-mm.
cool guy. And he was talking about how like he just reframes things like, oh, I got to work today, or oh, I get to work today.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like, and then he was also talking about this is a funny concept. So talking about coaching wrestlers, and like, so say he had a wrestler who was like maybe not quite giving it all or not quite working as hard as he could. At the end of practice, he'd bring him in and be like, hey, like Johnny's a dog. Like Johnny works harder than all of you. Like everybody needs to work as hard as Johnny. And then Johnny starts thinking, oh, okay,
I
maybe
need to
like
start
I do
pushing.
work hard. That is
Yeah.
who I am.
Uh-huh.
You know, so that's a weird concept how your mind can just change things and
Yeah. I mean,
rephrase them.
the more you like, I guess, work with yourself, and the more you get accustomed to it, the easier it becomes. And simple mind frameworks, changing it. Like honestly, I didn't realize I was doing this from an early age, but like one of the first frameworks that changed my mind was the difference between like being nervous and excited.
Hmm.
Like, do you ever hear someone talk about that?
Yeah,
They were like, they basically like describe like, okay, describe the feeling of being nervous. And they were like, well, feels like you have butterflies in your stomach, and your heart starts racing, and your mind can't stop thinking.
hmm,
And they were like, well, tell me what it feels like to be excited. And they were like, well, it seems like you have butterflies in your stomach, and your mind starts racing, and your
yeah,
heart starts pumping, and it's like it's
for
the same
sure,
thing.
for sure.
It's the same reaction. So, are you nervous or are you excited?
Yeah,
And I don't know, like that was my first one. Like I've been doing that since I was 10 years old. And like, no, I'm just excited. Like I'm not
hmm,
nervous. Like even like when I used to step out on the mat, my heart would be thumping, and I'd be scared and I'd be nervous, and I'd be like, nah, man, I'm just excited.
yeah.
It's
It's like
fine.
thinking about that. How do people ever like if you don't play a sport or you don't work out? Like when do you ever get the opportunity to really battle those mental demons or
You don't.
like get emotions like that? Like thinking about it, it's like most people probably have never felt well, they've never learned at an early age how to deal with nerves
Yeah.
or just like, oh, this is a high pressure moment. Like your team needs you to win right now.
Yeah.
And then it's like, okay, well, if I'm all worried about that and I stress about it and I put that weight on my shoulders, yeah, I'm going to go out there and I'm not going to perform. And then
Yeah.
it's just like that in any aspect of life. You go to a job interview, you're like, oh, I don't know, like talking to people and this and that. Or you go there and you're like, all right, well, I like talking to people. I can, I have a lot to offer to this company. Like, even if you don't and you think you do, you're going to have a better performance.
For sure.
So, yeah, I guess for kids out there, it's important to make them deal with that at an early age.
Yeah.
Learn
Kind
how
of
to
force
adjust the mindset.
some hardship in their life, even if it's just
Uh-huh.
small.
And
Make
then
them
working
work
out,
through
man,
their
it's like
problems.
them squats today, bro. I
Dude, that was
wanted any
vicious.
way out possible in them squats today, and I just
Yeah.
did them.
That was brutal.
Yeah,
Today's session hurt. That
leg day
was
sucks.
yeah.
Squats, 10 reps was not fun. But if you're not doing squats out there, start doing them. They're good for you.
Yeah. Good form. Try to learn form.
Yeah, lightweight, learn form, and then go into them.
Yeah. It's easy to mess that up. Mess your back
100%.
up.
Yeah,
I learned the
100%.
hard way.
Yeah, speaking of back problems, all right, so we talk a lot about health on here. If you want to, I feel like every older person listening to this has back problems. Everybody's got freaking
Or
back
knees.
problems or knees. If you want to fix your back problem, all right, let's look at it. Eat healthy, stretch, move. Don't
Yeah.
make it a priority to not be sitting as much as you do.
Yeah.
And then come and tell me you have back problems. If you do them 3 things and then come tell me you have back problems, all right, then we'll go deeper into it. But those 3
Yeah.
things will fix your back problems.
Yeah,
Straight up.
most of them. I mean, food's a big thing, and like inflammation,
Mm-hmm.
like keeping all that inflammation out, like that definitely really helps. And like obviously having a good diet really does that. And I guess another thing you didn't touch on is like having decent core strength
Yeah,
and
100%.
like mobility. Like the more, like you're saying, move and be exercise. If you're able to have mobility in it, like, 'cause what happens a lot is like people want to have like terrible diets and they do like laborious work to where their back should be sore,
Mm-hmm.
but they're not eating really the proper nutrients to fuel your body, and then on top of that, not enough correct food that pushes all the inflammation and the swelling out through your lymphatic system. So it's like they're not eating enough or they're not eating properly enough, and then they are moving it kind of, but not in the way it should be.
Mm-hmm.
It's like they need to work on the mobility of the body, and then on top of that, eating good. And I think, yeah, you're right. Same thing with like my knee pain. Like my knee pain's been going away just due to like me eating a lot healthier, and then on top of that, just moving it in different ranges of
Yeah,
motion and
100%.
strengthening it.
And it's crazy thinking about like people aging, and it's like uh that Brian Johnson guy, the oh, what's his thing? I don't know, but he's basically he's trying to optimize himself to live for a really long time. So then I was thinking about it, watching his stuff, and it's like I think the only thing that starts to decline people's health and like you show aging is because think about how much you move around when you're 10, 11, 12 years old, then
Hmm.
up through high school. You're constantly moving all the time. And then what happens as you get older? You get an office job. You start sitting 8 hours a day. And then you go home, you're tired, you sit on the couch.
Yep.
And you're not moving like you used to. I feel like moving is so powerful. Like, just get up and go do something.
Yeah. Did you ever watch that Netflix? It's kind of like a documentary style. It's called like Blue Zones, I
My
think it's
mom
called.
watched that.
Yeah. Well, like
I heard about it.
the biggest thing that it was is the people that lived the longest had little to no like sitting and like their lifestyles. Like they would either have to like maybe walk up a hill to go to the market because they
Hmm.
didn't have DoorDash in that area,
Yeah, yeah.
or they didn't really. There was not really a whole use for of cars because everything was close. But you had to like walk up a little hill,
Hmm.
or like the one lady, for example, she lived over 100, but she was gardening every
Yep.
day. So she was bending down and she was moving, and she didn't really sit on a couch because in that side of the world, sitting on couches wasn't a thing that they did. So they sat on mats,
Hmm.
and like it forced her to keep having a stable core and stabilizing muscles throughout her whole body so that she wouldn't fall. and
Yeah.
and what you're saying, it's just the moving part.
Dude, how fire would it be to just, in your living room, all you have is just a wrestling mat? That would be so sick. No furniture, just a wrestling mat.
Just a mat.
That would be sick.
That would be dope.
Life would be good then. Wrestling mat, little TV, little speaker.
That's all you
That'd be
really
cool.
need.
I feel like I never just like chill on the couch. You know what I mean? Like very rarely.
I don't.
UFC fights, like
Yeah, I don't ever sit on it.
on a day
Other
to
than
day.
this,
Yeah,
it's the only
we're
time I
posted
sit
up
on the
right now.
couch.
My posture is probably horrible right now, bro. I'm just posted. Oh well, but a cool story I wanted to share on this podcast was PJ from the gym.
Yeah, let's hear it.
Wow, that's why that's kind of why where the faith thing came about for on this episode. But so PJ, he was in a brutal car accident where people along with him in the accident died, and so PJ's about 40 right now. So this was 15, give or take 15 years ago. And so PJ went into a coma afterwards. And 2 times through this coma, they had to zap him to bring him back to life. So before this, PJ lived at his grandma's house. And he would always walk in and she'd be doing something. And before the accident, she had passed away. And so PJ's in the coma and he's telling this story to me at the gym. And like, he's getting emotional. Like, you can tell it's just genuine. Like, and so he said he thinks one of the times they had to zap him to bring him back to life, and this is his only memory in the coma. He remembers walking in to his grandma's house, and he walked in and he saw her. He didn't see her face. She was like doing either dishes or the laundry or something. And he's like, "Grandma, I'm home." And she's like, you're not supposed to be here right now. He's like, no, Grandma, I'm here. And you know how PJ is. PJ gets loud. No, Grandma, I'm home. She's like, it's not your time right now. You're not supposed to be here. And he's like, dude, I can still hear her saying that to me. And like, you gotta think, like, and PJ wasn't bullshitting. Like, he's damn near crying telling me this.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you
then-
gotta think there's a higher power.
Didn't the story end like that? His grandma like pushed him out, and then he woke up or something.
No. He never woke up.
Oh, he
Like,
didn't
he was
wake up
still
from
in the coma, but this
Yeah.
was the only memory he had from the coma.
That's intense.
And they had to zap him. Like, he died twice. Wild.
It's crazy. Yeah. Oh man, that opens up so many questions. Was that a figment of his imagination, or was that genuinely her soul talking to him?
It's wild.
Such a crazy thought, man. I can't even comprehend it.
Nobody knows what happens when you die until you die.
I know. It's just crazy to think about, like what happens.
It's such a weird concept. And also, it's such a weird concept to me. It's like, I feel like you should prepare to live to 100, but live like you only got another year.
Yeah.
I feel like that's like, if you're just not enjoying life, like, you got to change some things up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you never know what could happen.
Mm-hmm.
Shit could go bad real quick.
Yeah.
So,
Nothing's guaranteed either.
yeah. But also, if you just 100% act like you only have a couple days to live, then you make it longer, you're going to be, well, I don't know where you end up. I know where I would end up.
Yeah.
Probably be broke in California somewhere or something.
Probably in a prison cell.
That might be true too. I mean, you got to live it up.
Yeah, screw it.
But what would a death row meal be?
Oh man, my death row meal. I definitely have a fire steak
Steak, yeah.
for sure. I love mac and cheese. I don't know why.
Alright.
Love some mac and cheese, some steak, mac and cheese. Some seafood,
Oh yeah.
some sushi.
Oh yeah.
Probably. I don't know. I think they put limitations on what you can get, and then some ice cream.
Yeah.
That would be my death.
I'm
row.
going straight milkshake, extra large pasta.
Oh, pasta. I forgot about pasta.
Yeah, some chicken
Oh.
Alfredo.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, that would be money.
You gotta let me cook it though.
You do whip up some good chicken Alfredo for sure. And yeah, same thing. Like, back onto the health stuff. Like, if you really want to like see that this stuff works, go look into Aaron Rodgers' injury and how far we've come since people have been changing their viewpoints on movement when you get an injury, heat versus ice. And it's like, wow, like, you can recover from injuries really fast these days.
Yeah, 100%.
You got to be eating healthy. You got to be moving. You got to be getting sunlight. You got to be grounding. Like, it works.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely ways to speed up the biological process of healing. Even me, like, when my senior year, when I severely sprained my ankle and, torched some of the ligaments in my ankle, well, I was back in 2 to 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
That's not normal.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, all props to T Mike. Absolutely killed it.
100%.
Shout out T Mike.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it was the balance of heat. It was the balance of ice. It was the balance of compression. It was the balance of stability and doing exercises along them. But I was back in wrestling in 2 to 3 weeks.
Yeah, 100%.
And it was
Oh, it was
real
bad.
bad at one point.
Yeah, and it's just like, think about like, so you sprained your ankle. So you did all them things to help prepare. But what if you just do them things on a day-to-day when you don't have an injury?
Yeah.
You're going to heal your body.
Yeah.
You're going to feel better. You're going to move better. You're going to think better.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, man, health, just diet alone and movement have so much power in this world.
Yeah.
Like, you see all these entrepreneurs now just like all in on the health stuff because they didn't take it serious at all. And then they were going to literally die in a couple years. And it's like, all right, well, let's lock in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super cool to see all of that stuff going on.
Yeah, it's cool to see that big change in framework because like even like for example like the Nelk boys doing that challenge with Dana and like that's a good message. It's one of the few positive messages that are pushed out on a large scale of social media.
It really is like that. It's really in the last like 2-3 years. Like, first it was like the gym rats, like the Trend twins, like that type of vibe. And And then now it's like the Gary Brecka, like the holistic health stuff. And like seeing guys like Mr. Beast, like the Nelk Boys, like Dana, Jelly Roll now locking in, like it's so cool. Like that's how they're gonna go to the next level.
Yeah.
And they're getting popular off it and people are getting behind them for it.
Mm-hmm. I'm excited to see Jelly Roll's transformation.
Dude, I'm so excited for
Is
that.
Mr. Beast getting? I didn't see this.
Well, Mr. Beast has been on it apparently. I don't know who he
really?
works with or goes through.
Huh.
But that guy's like so big and so famous. Like, if he promoted someone, they won't even be able to handle it. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that is true.
it's crazy how, like, thinking about, like, he's got multiple, like, probably like 300 to 500 million across all his platforms.
Mhm.
That's just unreal.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, he's like reaching out to like a 14th of the population.
It's crazy.
That is pretty nuts now that you think. Yeah, that is
It's
wild.
insane. And then it's like, imagine he made a podcast once and did a couple episodes a month, but it was $1 a month.
Yeah.
Like, he would make so much money. He doesn't need any money, but he would make so much money. All those guys, they just monetize it $1 a month. Like, wow.
Yeah.
That would be nuts.
I wonder what like at that scale, what the ad revenue, like whenever someone has to sponsor their video, like what I wonder what they get paid for that.
I'm pretty sure they get paid by Shopify 1 cent a view.
Oh, that's intense. That's a lot of money. Think about it.
Yep. Yeah. I think like they literally can't pay him enough.
Yeah, it seems like it doesn't make sense. Because, like, what they would spend in advertising, like, if you did, like, per view or anything like that, like, I wonder, would it even make sense? Because it's just that big.
Well, you want to talk about power in these billionaires. Like, Mr. Beast might not be a billionaire, but you got that many followers. Like, he has a huge amount of power.
Yeah, he might have arguably more.
More than, like, an Elon Musk. Like, it's insane.
Definitely for the younger generation. Yeah, he might. I don't know,
It's
that's
nuts.
crazy.
Like, the YouTube and the social media thing is absolutely insane. Like, how they're doing it. Like, I was reading you or telling you about the how to get paid on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, once you get there, like, you got to be making some good bread.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. That's where we're looking to go, though.
One day.
Get some money rolling in off this thing.
That would be cool. I mean, that would be fun.
Yeah, super cool. You got to just act like it doesn't matter. Like, try not to get caught up in the views or worrying about if this does good, that does good. Like, try to just see, okay, that didn't work. All right, change it up, do this. Because honestly, like, they talk about, like, even if no one was listening, would you still do it? Like, yeah, I'm having fun right now.
Yeah, we're just chilling.
So it's cool.
I mean, it's kind of what we do anyway. Like, when we sit and just chill, we just talk about the same stuff we're talking about in the podcast.
Literally.
We just have a camera in front of us.
Yeah.
It's kind of the only difference.
It's way easier to do now, too. It's just, like, you never really freeze up, like, because we're not nervous. They're, like...
Yeah. The first couple podcasts were terrible.
And it's, well, yeah, one, we just got better at the skill. And two, it's, like, also, like, in the back of my head, it's like, what's people going to think? What are they going to say? Oh, I don't want to post this. I don't want to do this or look stupid.
Yeah.
Nobody's like,
Don't care.
I don't care anymore. It is what it is. And I've only gotten good feedback. So it motivated me so much to stay here and keep doing this.
Yeah, for sure. Especially when we took that break.
Yeah. That's why I got back, man. People were like, yo, the podcast is so sick. Like, it's cool that you guys do that. And I'm like, all right, sweet. And then after 3 or 4 or 5 people telling me that, it's like, all right, we're not stopping.
Yeah, and like honestly, it's like a random people.
Yes, such
Like,
random people.
I really like. I talked to like a handful of times, and like, yeah, I saw your podcast. Like, it's pretty good.
Heck yeah.
Oh man, sweet. Thanks.
Yeah, I hope it's getting better for you guys. We're trying to improve it each and every week. I want to get a new setup going here, but one step at a time.
Yeah,
We got some big things in the works, so the podcast might get set aside a little bit. We'll still be ripping episodes. It might be in a new location soon, though. We'll see.
That'd be cool.
Might keep this the studio, though.
Oh, you think so?
Probably.
I think we'll have room.
We'll see. We'll see. If we could do a dope setup there, I'm down. But, all right, I'm good with that. I think that was about an hour.
Yeah.
We'll wrap that up. Hit that like button, subscribe, check us out on Spotify.
Appreciate
follow
you
us on there.
listening.
Yeah, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you guys watching every week. Dropping Tuesday. It'll be out 12 p.m. tomorrow because I waited till last minute to do this episode, but hope you all enjoy. Peace out.
Peace.